This is actually take 2 of this because I kind of forgot to hit the record button on the camera the first time I went through this. 12 minutes of me talking. It was fantastic. I guarantee it. You just missed it. So I'm sorry. So I know I said in the previous video that the reason why that one took so long to get there was because of the Wi-Fi. So apologize for that. There's really not much I can do about that. The Wi-Fi is pretty bad here at the Leonardo Club in Tiberias. Like 5.5 hours to upload that video that I think I posted yesterday morning. So by the time you get this, hopefully it gets there a little bit sooner. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to recap 2 days at once so that I don't spend a lot of time, and it might be a little bit longer than normal. Like I said, my first take was 12 minutes. You guys hopefully can get the more rehearsed and condensed version. So on Thursday, we started out on the Mount of Beatitudes, which is where Jesus gave the Sermon on the Mount. I know a person like me thinking, okay, I think technical stuff, sound systems, all that kind of stuff. How in the world did hundreds and hundreds, maybe thousands of people hear Jesus talking without a sound system? Well, it turns out that the geography and the topography of that particular place, when Jesus would stand on the mount, and even to this day, you can stand up there in that area and you can hear for a huge distance because the sound will just travel down the hills. And so it makes total sense, and it is perfectly understandable that the people who would be standing there listening could hear Jesus talking. And so that was a really powerful experience. We did our morning devotion there, and it was wonderful. Juliet and Leslie led it very wonderfully. We sang a beautiful song. I think I didn't have the microphone turned on for that, so if I've got it, I'll cut in a little bit of it here for you guys, but if not, I apologize for that.
Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be filled. Blessed are the merciful, for they will receive mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called children of God. Blessed are those who are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are you when people revile and persecute you and utter all kinds of evil against you falsely on my account. Rejoice and be glad, for your reward is great in heaven. For in the same way they persecuted the prophets who were before you.
Great is thy faithfulness, O God, my Father. There is no shadow of turning with thee. Thou changest not, thy compassions they fail not. As thou hast been, thou forever wilt be.
Then after that, we went to a couple of other places. Among them was Magdala, really recently uncovered, where Mary Magdalene was from. Unfortunately, I don't really have any footage from that or many pictures because they're so concerned with maintaining the message that they want, because it's a privately owned dig site. They didn't really want me filming a whole lot because they're still kind of figuring out how they're releasing information to the public. So totally understandable. The first time I've heard somebody look at me and say, "Hey, do you have a permit for that?" Why, no, I don't. I almost thought you were joking for a minute there. Sorry. But the thing yesterday that I would have to say that I'm going to highlight for you guys was at Capernaum. And I was standing in this, the side room, I can't remember the name of it, but the side room of a Byzantine era synagogue. And I'm looking out over the ruins of Capernaum, the city that Jesus was really well known in. He went into people's houses and he lived life there for a good bit. And I'm standing there and I look out and I see this house. Really, the house is just, like 3 feet of walls or something at this point. But I can clearly see the doorway, still right where it stands, the doorway. And it's the kind of thing that in my soul, in my spirit, I'm standing there looking at this, and it struck me to such a on such a deep level. I didn't even take a picture of it, and I know I should have. But I'm standing there and I'm thinking, without a doubt in my mind, without a doubt, I am reassured in my heart and my mind that Jesus went through that doorway, visited that house. Whoever lived there, to me right now doesn't matter. What matters is that I reflect on that and I think, okay, so this shows me that Jesus, yes, fully God. Jesus also fully man. He lived day-to-day life. He had the things that he did, just like you and I have the things that we do. We go see our friends, we talk to our friends, and all that stuff. Jesus did all that with these people. And I'm taken aback for a second. You know, I'm standing there, and I'm not really an emotional person, but I'm almost brought to tears by the fact that I really believe God is telling me, look, I stood there. I'm letting you know that I stood there. And it's one of those insignificant things that makes it so important. That it helps me understand. It helps it come alive to me that Jesus was a man. Jesus was human, like us, showing us what it looks like to live day in, day out, just doing what people do. We also went on a boat ride on the Sea of Galilee, and a lot of us were kind of expecting this nice, quiet, contemplative little thing. We got that a little bit, but what we also got was kind of a good time. The boat captains were hilarious, really wanted to show us that, you know, they enjoyed us being there, they were happy to have us there, and so you'll see a little bit of that right now. Yeah, Hava Nagila, right? I don't know. You tell me. I thought it was hilarious. But anyway, so after we did that, we went in, we saw the ancient boat that they uncovered on the Sea of Galilee. Just think about that. It's a boat that they've dated to about 2,000 years ago. So it is the same type of boat that Jesus would have traveled in while he was on the Sea of Galilee, because, you know, fishermen boats, right? And the fact that they were able to preserve this boat and then now bring it inside is really cool. And of course we went to the Valley of the Doves. I don't really know much about that other than it's a path that leads between a couple of cities. My memory's a little bit hazy right now, but it's the kind of path that exists still today that existed back then. It was a very easy path to get from one city to the next, and Jesus would more than likely have walked that path at some point. Check that out real quick. All right, so I've got Becky Clark following me. She's been holding this little guy a little bit, and we are walking up a path right now that's really awesome. Even Juliet is behind us. And let's see, there we go.
This is a really good incline, Tyler. Are you sure you...
Yeah, I'm good. Juliet's there, and even though she says she's got bad knees, which she's kind of making me believe that she doesn't, but according to Leslie, this is one of the places that we're pretty sure Jesus would have crossed and walked through here. This path, what's the name of it? The Valley of Doves.
What's the other name that you...
Valley of Doves. Mount something, starts with an A,
Arabelle.
Mount Arabelle. And Becky's trying to make me give up all this stuff.
I just want to be his assistant.
And I'm telling her no because I just want to look cool with all the camera gear.
You are a professional.
That's right.
Because according to our last stop.
That's right. I was told at Magdala that I couldn't use the camera with the microphone on it like you see here. So what I did is I just took the big lens off, put on the nifty 50, and I took the microphone off, and we're good to go. But I'm gonna swing the camera around a little bit here. Yeah, we're walking up this steep path.
It just keeps going.
It does. This is pretty fantastic. And Those of you out there that might be watching at some point in the future, you'll be happy to know I just made my elevation climb goal for the day according to my handy dandy Garmin watch. So, isn't that nice?
So like that's how far we've gone at this point, looped around. It's pretty good height.
So yeah, we've come up all this way. Okay, so that really kind of brings us the highlights from Thursday to an end, and I'll move real quickly into today.